Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on another video of mine. As always, it is very much appreciated. If you're new here, hi there, welcome. My name is Rosie. I love doing natural hair videos. Oh my old-time subbies, thank you so much for joining me once again. Now, in today's video, I wanted to just kind of share with you guys some of the key benefits that have really helped me when it comes to length retention. I try to be as transparent as possible on my Instagram page and just really share with you guys my natural hair journey and just how much my hair has grown over the last 3.5 years. I have definitely put in the work, that is for sure, but I really do see some of the stuff that I do when it comes to length retention has really been benefiting my hair, and I usually get a lot of questions about length retention, so I just thought it'd be a better option for me to just go ahead and do a video and share all that information so you have it at your disposal. So that is what I will be doing today. Now, if you have not done so, please make sure that you are subscribed to my channel, hit that notification bell, that way you're always alerted when I post a new video. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. All right, so I have my notes here. This is just the information that I have been collecting throughout my natural hair journey. You know, I love jotting everything down because to me it's just really important. It really helps me, kind of gives me a better idea of what's working and what's not working. So, and also helps me better guide you guys in your journey. So I do have 10 key benefits for length retention that I want to share with you guys. And the first one being is keeping your hair moisturized. That's number one. I think with keeping your hair moisturized, that is very key when it comes to length retention. And personally, to me, when it comes to keeping my hair moisturized, that's something that I was really big on doing when I was transitioning, just because dealing with the two textures, my hair was just very, very, very dry. It was very dry. And I remember that as the months would go by, my hair would get even drier because of the new growth coming in, and then just trying to hang on to the dead ends until I felt comfortable with doing the big chop. So moisturizing my hair was something that I was really on it while I was transitioning, and that's kind of what led me to create a nighttime hair schedule when it came to my hair. And I remember I would just section it in 4, moisturize it, and then the next day I would go ahead and just put it in a bun. Another thing that you have to consider when it comes to curly hair, you know, the oils that our hair produces doesn't really travel that well down because, you know, of our curls, it's spiral. So because of that, you have to be more on top of moisturizing your hair. I definitely recommend to create a schedule. It will help you out so much. We all have phones these days. These phones have calendars. Outline it, stick to it, create a schedule, and you will definitely see the benefits of it over time as you continue to stay consistent with it. But keeping your hair moisturized is definitely key when it comes to length retention. Next tip is detangling your hair with care on wash day. This is really, really important, and it really ties in with length retention because you really want to make sure that you are taking your time when it comes to detangling, especially if you are transitioning. Now, if you are transitioning, you definitely want to take that time to really make sure that you are detangling your hair properly, especially because you are dealing with the two textures. The best approach that I've taken when it comes to detangling is that I really do work in small sections. It does require more time, and you know, obviously you have to have patience for that, but honestly, that is what works best for me, just working in small working in small sections just doesn't overwhelm me. You know, I'm able to just really focus and just kind of make sure that I am properly removing that knot. When the sections are too big, then it's just because my hair is so thick, it becomes a lot for me, and then that can really lead for me to cause breakage because I'm dealing with too much hair at the same time. When it comes to detangling, I really recommend for you to just start finger detangling to see if you can properly remove the knot with your hands. Try to be as gentle as possible, but see if you can do if you can remove the tangle with your fingers. If the knot is too difficult and you're not able to do so, then I recommend getting a proper detangling brush or a wide tooth comb and then working from the bottom all the way up to prevent breakage. But I usually say just, lather some conditioner where that knot is, and then try to just properly separated and just take your time with it, and you'll be able to do so. That's, the approach that I've been taking, and I feel like detangling, finger detangling and detangling with care, taking my time with it has really been beneficial for me when it comes to length retention. Tip number 3, wearing protective hairstyles. Now, I will have to say that not being in my hair constantly throughout the week, trying on different hairstyles, have really helped with my length retention. If you follow me on Instagram, then you know that buns are my favorite hairstyle to do. That's usually the hairstyle that I rock throughout the week, especially, I am quarantined, so I am working from home. So there's really no need for me to be on top of my hair like that, especially, I don't really turn on my camera that much for work, but when I do, I just go ahead and just do a loose high bun, and then I'll just keep it like that throughout the week. But doing protective hairstyles definitely helps with length retention. With protective styles, it doesn't have to be difficult. You can keep it simple. For me, again, I love doing buns, so that's just kind of like the style of choice that I choose for my hairstyle. But you can do twist outs, you can do braids, you can do whatever you feel most comfortable with, and just try to rock out that style throughout the week and not being so much in your hair. And one day is down and one day is up, and then the next day you have into braids, and then you're doing a twist. When you're manipulating your hair too much constantly, that really can impact, your length retention. So you just kind of want to make sure that you are picking a style and just try to rock that style throughout the week or however long you decide to do so. And trust me, you'll definitely see a difference. I think for me, one of the big things when it comes to my hair is just, I really try to focus on keeping it moisturized, keeping it hydrated. I really don't wear it out that much. I do sometimes, to take pictures and stuff like that, but the majority of the time my hair is in a bun. Another thing with protective hairstyles, whatever hairstyle you choose to do, you also want to make sure that it is not tight hairstyles, especially, tugging on the edges. I see videos like that all the time, and it's always so heartbreaking because you can just kind of see the tension, and it's just not good. So when you're doing protective styles, you always want to make sure that it's not too tight and it's not causing tension, because obviously that tension will lead to breakage, and it's just, you're just putting yourself backwards. So keep that in mind as well. Tip number 4 is trimming your ends regularly. Now, personally for me, when it comes to trimming your hair, I don't have a set schedule, but trimming my hair on consistently and, having somewhat of a schedule is important. I usually trim my hair twice a year, but trimming is very important because you want to remove the dead ends, especially, the single knot strand as well. With the single knot strands, those, you can't avoid those. Those just come, you can try to minimize the amount of single knot strands by doing protective styles, doing twist outs, braids, but for the most part, I don't really do a lot with my hair. I usually do buns. So, I do get single knot strands and stuff like that. So that's why it's really important for me to trim. It's really important that you are building somewhat of a schedule, so you are trimming consistently to remove the dead ends and of course the single knot strands. Now, the best way to find out if you really need a trim, again, is pretty much just checking in with your hair. Check your ends, see how they feel. Do they feel dry? Do you see split ends? Do you see knots at the end? Because, I have a schedule, it gives me an opportunity to check in with my hair and to see how my hair looks and feels. And personally for me, I know when it's time for a trim, when I'm doing my wash and goes and I'm just noticing that I just have a lot of single knot strands at the end, and I do see some split. That's my hair just letting me know, hey, it's time for us to figure out when we're gonna do a trim. So the last time I did a trim was in August, and I do have a video on that. I'll go ahead and link that video at the end of this video so you can go ahead and check it out. But, you know, I do my own trims, you know, that's my personal choice. I have trust issue. I don't want nobody to touch my hair. There's really no reason for anybody to touch my hair. So that's just kind of my approach. But of course, if you don't feel comfortable with it, which I completely understand, you know, I'm not a professional, but I always tell you guys, I highly recommend for you to do your own personal research. Find someone in your area that you trust and you confide, someone that knows how to cut curly hair, and really somebody that you vibe with, that you feel comfortable doing your trims. But trimming your ends regularly is another key benefit for length retention. Tip number 5, protecting your hair while you sleep. I think that this is a very, very important benefit for length retention, just because you want to keep in mind that the pillowcases, the cotton pillowcases, you know, they actually strip our hair of our natural oils, and they also scratch against our hair strands. So that is definitely not good. So I always encourage you guys, create your nighttime routine to kind of get in the habit of, you know, checking in with your hair, adding what you need to add to your hair, and then putting a scarf or sleeping with a bonnet, and also getting a satin pillowcase as well to protect your hair. I definitely recommend it. It really does make a difference. There has been times where I was lazy and fell asleep without putting a scarf and a bonnet on, and the next day my hair was just completely dry. It was so frizzy, and especially like in the back part, it was just a little bit knotted too, because again, it was just scratching off of that cotton pillowcase that I had. So that's why I changed the pillowcase, and I always make sure that I sleep with a scarf. You know, if I'm too lazy to get up, I have one near the bed, so there's definitely no excuse. But that's another key benefit for length retention. I definitely recommend for you to create a schedule so you are protecting your hair before you head to bed. Tip number 6, deep conditioning weekly. Deep conditioning is your best friend. Deep conditioning is just such an important process of our hair regimen. It's something that should be incorporated weekly. I know sometimes, you know, if you're doing protective styles and stuff like that, obviously you cannot wash weekly, but if you are washing your hair, every time that you are washing your hair, you should be deep conditioning. Deep conditioning is what saved my hair, is what really helped strengthen my hair, and it's something that I do not skip on wash day. One thing with deep conditioning for me, you know, I do have low porosity hair, so it's just really hard to get that moisture in my hair. So because of that, I do deep condition with heat. I have the extended one that you extended with to the blow dryer, and I deep condition for about 30 minutes. Now, the reason why I deep condition with heat, and this is something that I say a lot on my Instagram page, is because, you know, especially for me, because I have low porosity hair, you know, I need to help open the hair follicles, because the heat will help do that, and your deep conditioner will better penetrate in your hair, making your hair a lot stronger and healthier. So I definitely recommend for you to deep condition on a weekly basis. Again, I do understand if you're doing protective style, but my motto is every time you're washing your hair, you should be deep conditioning. Tip number 7, drinking your water. Yeah, I said it. Drinking your water. Not just one glass of water, really drinking your water throughout the day and having a balanced diet. Now, I'm not the healthiest person in the world, but I have taken into account to be much more mindful about what it is that I'm eating, because You know, at my age, I really can't be doing the junk food and eating late at night. It's not working for me. So I'm really trying to be a lot more healthier, incorporating more greens. But when it comes to my water, that's something that I have been taking very seriously throughout my journey and really making sure that I am being proactive with drinking my water. I also cut out sugary drinks. You know, I do have a glass of wine here and there, but I don't really drink any type of soda, anything like that. And, you know, it really has helped out a lot with my skin, but definitely drinking your water and having a balanced diet is definitely important for length retention. I recommend it for you to just, you know, try out and just kind of set a goal for yourself and then just kind of build on that. But drinking water, very, very important. Tip number 8, avoiding heat. Really staying away from straightening your hair. I don't recommend it, especially if you're transitioning. You should not be doing any type of heat. Deep conditioning is completely fine, but I'm more referencing, you know, flat ironing your hair, straightening your hair straight, none of that stuff. I think with heat, because I've stayed away with it, I feel like that's why I've been so successful with my journey, because I really made the commitment to just say goodbye to it. Just part ways. It's just not gonna work out. So yeah, I feel like that has been really beneficial for when it comes to length retention in my journey. I really think that it'll be beneficial in yours if you really give it up completely. You know, once you figure out your journey and you have it down packed and a few years have passed by and you want to straighten your hair, I don't think there's anything wrong with that, you know, and I've seen so many other people do it and then they revert back to their curly hair, no problems. But you know, as you go through this journey in the beginning, especially if you're transitioning or if you're newly natural, I just think that it's just best to just kind of stay away from it for now. I've chosen to stay away from it completely, you know, but that's my own personal decision. But again, I feel because I gave it up completely, I have just retained a lot of length over the last several years. Tip number 9, doing daily scalp massages. Now, I do my scalp massages at nighttime, but you know, you can do them in the morning, middle of the day, whatever you want to do. But I really think that doing daily oil massages to your scalp has definitely helped with length retention. You know, scalp massages help increase blood flow, and obviously that does lead to hair growth. So that's why I incorporated, in my nighttime hair routine, and I make sure that I do that every single night. I am not really heavy with my oils because I know that that's a concern that people have, you know, doing it every night. You know, is my hair going to be so saturated with oil? But, you know, personally for me, my hair can handle it. I also try to focus on focal points when I'm doing my scalp massages. So I'm making sure that I'm going back here, I'm going here, right here in the center, and then up here as well. So I'm really not using a lot of oils, but I do feel that incorporating scalp massages into your hair routine can definitely help with length retention. All right, and my last tip number 10 is being gentle with your ends. I think that is very important when it comes to length retention. You want to be gentle with your ends because your ends are the oldest part of your hair. You really want to make sure that you are nurturing them, you're coddling them. And really making sure that you are being gentle with them, especially when you are detangling. So that's why I always go with finger detangling first, trying to see if you can just kind of gently remove that knot out. And I know when I'm deep conditioning, I like to really just rake in that deep conditioner on my ends, and I also like to add oil on top of the deep conditioner as well, especially in my ends, just because I really want to make sure that they are healthy, they stay strong, especially since they are the oldest part of my hair. So that's another key benefit that I recommend. You want to be gentle with them, making sure that you are just caring for them, especially on wash day, and you're not being too rough on them, because when you are, that's just going to lead to breakage and you're not going to be able to just hold on to that length that you've been working on. All right, guys, that is the end of this video. I really hope that this information was useful. I hope that you can apply some of my personal approaches in my hair journey and yours to better benefit you. These are just the steps that I've just been taking over the last 3.5 years, and they've been working out for me. So I really hope that you can incorporate it in your journey, and I hope that it works out for you as well. But as you guys can see, my hair has just been flourishing. Even during this challenging year, I still kept up with my hair regimen, still make sure I was washing weekly, deep conditioning, scalp massage, nighttime routine, all of that good stuff. And I can really see my work pay off. So I'm just very excited for year 4 in my natural hair journey. All right, guys, I'm out. But as always, thank you so much for tuning in. You know, I really appreciate it. Please make sure that you comment, like, share, and subscribe to my channel as well. You watch the video, might as well subscribe. You guys be well, take good care of yourself, stay safe, and of course, I will see you in my next video. Bye-bye.